Godel's incompleteness theorem points to God. Godel's incompleteness theorem is one of the most profound discoveries of 20th century mathematics and logic, fundamentally altering our understanding of truth, knowledge, and the limitations of formal systems. Discovered by Austrian logician Kurt Godel in 1931, the theorem establishes that within any sufficiently complex formal mathematical system, there are propositions that cannot be proven or disproven within that system. This mathematical insight has implications beyond formal logic, pointing to the existence of truth that lies outside the scope of human-made systems and structures. This points to the necessity of an ultimate, transcendent source of truth, pointing to God. 1. Understanding Godel's incompleteness theorem. Godel's incompleteness theorem comprises two main statements. First theorem: any consistent formal system, capable of expressing basic arithmetic, contains true statements that cannot be proven within the system itself. Second theorem: no such system can prove its own consistency. In simple terms, these theorems mean that within any complex, consistent system, there will always be truths that cannot be derived solely from the rules and axioms of that system. Additionally, a system cannot assure its own consistency without stepping outside itself, which indicates the existence of truths or principles that transcend the system. 2. The limits of human reason and knowledge. Godel's theorem highlights an essential limitation of human reason and knowledge, showing that finite systems, like human logic and mathematics, cannot contain or explain all truths. No matter how comprehensive a system is, it cannot be fully complete. This leads to a critical insight. If there are truths that lie beyond formal systems, there are aspects of reality that are beyond the reach of purely material explanations. Godel's incompleteness theorem thus demonstrates that no human-created system of thought, logic, or science can fully explain or contain all truths about the universe. This resonates with the Christian belief that human beings, while made in the image of God, have finite and limited understanding. Example: imagine a book that contains the rules and explanations for everything known in a certain field, like a physics textbook. According to Godel's theorem, no matter how exhaustive this book is, there will be truths about physics or reality that cannot be derived solely from the book's contents. To know these inaccessible truths, one would need insights that lie outside the book, perhaps even from a source that knows the book's limitations. 3. The concept of transcendent truth. Godel's theorem shows that there are truths existing beyond the grasp of any finite system. These meta-truths indicate the need for a transcendent source of truth, a reality that is not bound by the limitations of material systems or human logic. This aligns with the Christian view of God as the ultimate foundation of truth and knowledge. The fact that some truths are beyond the reach of human logic or mathematics points to a mind or being that encompasses all truth, a being that is not limited by formal systems or human understanding. Example: in the field of theology, the concept of God's omniscience, or all-knowing nature, exemplifies a source of truth beyond human reasoning. Just as Godel showed that there are truths beyond formal systems, Christian theology teaches that God, as an omniscient being, knows all truths, even those beyond human comprehension. 4. Godel's proof as a form of theistic logic. Godel himself believed in the existence of a higher reality and held a deep interest in philosophy and metaphysics. He even proposed a formal ontological proof of God's existence. Godel's belief that there are truths beyond human understanding reflects a worldview that embraces both scientific inquiry and metaphysical or theological insights. By accepting that truth extends beyond human logic, Godel's work naturally opens the door to a theistic perspective, where God is viewed as the ultimate source of all truth, transcending human comprehension. Godel's proof for God, known as Godel's ontological proof, is based on a formalization of the idea of a maximally perfect being. While it's a complex and abstract argument, it illustrates Godel's conviction that logic and mathematics are ultimately rooted in a reality that includes God. Example: Godel's ontological proof relies on a modal logic framework, where he defines God as a maximally great being whose existence is necessarily true, if possible. Godel's faith in higher realities and his use of logic to argue for God's existence shows his openness to theistic ideas, aligning with the implications of his incompleteness theorem that there is a reality beyond human limits. 5. The necessity of a grounding truth. Godel's incompleteness theorem supports the necessity of a grounding truth or absolute reference point for all other truths. If human reason is limited in what it can prove or know, this indicates a need for an ultimate standard or foundation of truth, something that transcends human limits. This ultimate truth is found in the nature of God, who is understood in Christianity as the grounding reality, the logos, or divine reason, in which all truth and logic find their origin. Christian doctrine teaches that God's nature is the grounding source of all that exists, including the principles of mathematics and logic. This idea resonates with Godel's insight, as it posits that while human systems are finite and limited, an infinite and unchanging source of truth, God, undergirds the universe. Example. In discussions of ethics, some argue that moral truths must be grounded in an absolute standard to avoid relativism. Similarly, Godel's theorem shows that mathematical and logical truths need an ultimate grounding. This foundation is God, who provides the absolute standard by which all other truths are understood. 6. Godel's theorem and faith in an infinite God. Ultimately, Godel's incompleteness theorem calls us to humility regarding our own intellectual capabilities. It serves as a reminder that no matter how advanced human knowledge becomes, there will always be mysteries beyond our reach. This aligns with the Christian belief in an infinite God who surpasses all understanding and whose thoughts are beyond our thoughts. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8-9. The existence of incompleteness within human reason echoes the need for justified trust in a God who transcends human limitations. Example. Consider the field of quantum physics, where paradoxes and uncertainties challenge the limits of our scientific understanding. Godel's incompleteness theorem shows that such mysteries are natural in any formal system, reminding us that ultimate understanding can only be attainable through a being that exists beyond these limitations, an infinite God who is the author of both the known and the unknown. Conclusion. Godel's incompleteness theorem does more than simply define the limits of mathematical systems. It challenges the notion that human reason can fully comprehend or explain reality. The theorem's implication that truth exists beyond formal systems points to a transcendent source of truth, a concept that resonates deeply with the Christian understanding of God. In acknowledging the limitations of human knowledge, Godel's work invites us to consider the existence of an infinite, all-knowing being who encompasses all truth. Godel's insights serve as a reminder of the ultimate reality of God, who is the source of all wisdom, understanding, and truth. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.